So you know how to run cues, how to run faders, turn the consoles on, all that kind of stuff. More or less. Most consoles, no matter who makes them, no matter what manufacturer, run pretty much the same. You have a crossfade, you have channel faders for the lights, you have crossfaders to do cues, you have effects, you have a grandmaster. Most consoles do all the same things. So in this case, I believe, if it's still set up the way I left it, so grandmaster to full, otherwise no lights will come on. And hopefully it is missing, unless, like I said, unless somebody's changed it. No, it's still set up right. Okay, so just trying to figure out why that should have brought up lights already. Oh, there's some. There's a Fresnel there that didn't turn on. That's why it didn't turn on. That bulb's burned out already in here.
Some don't have anything plugged in.
Yeah, that Fresnel at the very far end there should have come up with channel 1. Channel 2, the second one over doesn't seem to be working either. So either somebody's turned the breakers off on the module or they've taken it out of the dimmer, which is possible. Okay, so this board, the way this theater works, what they've done is they have a dance studio and they have a theater. They've only got one dimmer rack, is doing both places. The dance studio circuits are 1 through 48. The theater, the circuits start at 49. So what we had to do is take this console, which can be plugged into both locations and run lights. For the theater, we've had to do what's called patching. Everybody know what patching? Okay. So what we've had to do is take the patch of 49 and start it at channel 1. So 49, 50, 51, and so on, up to basically up to 90. What do we get? Yeah, 96. Unfortunately, the house lights are in what would be dimmers 103, 104, 105. Well, the console doesn't go up that high, so that's a problem. Which is why we're having to use this right now to do house lights. Has anybody played with this system? So this one right now, just bring it. Again, for temporary programming, because again we hadn't had a chance to talk with everybody. This one, if it's set to manual, this grandmaster, this is the house lights here, so you can actually dim them down. So if you're running a show, you may have to run with this doing house lights and this one doing theater lights. I am going to try later, probably after the demo, to try and patch the house lights down to, you know, say down here, so that you can actually just run them with the cues on the console. But we'll see about that. Okay, so standard console, like I say, we patched this down to 49, and I think it's up to about 96 or something right now, or 101. I'm going to actually let you guys work on the console, because it's easier for you guys to learn by doing than me just talking about it. So what about the consoles, or what do you need to, like, what's your strong or weak points in any theater? Nothing? Hopefully when the theater, when they get the things, they have a lighting plot. Okay? So a lighting plot will say you have your set in place, you have a lighting plot saying I need areas, stage right, center, stage left, upstage right, upstage center, upstage left. You have your backlights, your side lights, you have a cyc light, you know, to do background colors, or you have other instruments to do specials for an actor that's, you know, doing a solo or something. Patching is the biggest thing. Once your patch is done to your lighting plot, running the console is easy. So patching, who wants to run the console? Okay, so menu, we have the channel setup, DMX patch, LCD setup is just the backlighting of the contrast of this, so don't worry about that. Channel setup and DMX patch are the two that are probably most likely to be used. If we go channel setup right now, you can see what I've got here is it starts at dimmer 49 up to 100. So this is starting at dimmer 49 and it's going up to basically up to 100. So that gives you what I said is the, you know, dance space, theater space. When you move this console, if you do ever, to the dance space, you'll have to change this 49. You'll have to change it back to 1, correct. And the end would be 48. That way, if you're in the dance space and you're running lights in here, you're not affecting lights in here. Vice versa, if you're running lights in here, you don't want to be running lights in the dance studio. Not that likelihood of 2 shows going on at the same time, but you know, you want to keep everything in the room that you're working on. We are going to try moving these numbers around so that you can get your house lights down here, but we'll do that in a bit. So once your patch is set, and like I said, generally you'd have a downstage right. You could have a downstage center right, a downstage center left, and a downstage left. And same with upstage. So basically, you could even do a mid-stage and then an upstage, depending how many lights you have, depending on what your set is. So generally, you have your lights, say for stage right, you have, say, dimmer 49, but you also want to light. Now, people, have you guys done any lighting classes that know? Okay, generally, I don't know if it's easier for me to talk this way or that way. Generally, when you light a show, you have a key light and a side light. So for every area, you would have 2 lights. So if I'm looking at this, if I'm on stage and I'm looking up, there'll be a light this way and a light this way. That lights both half of my faces. That way, the audience can see me wherever they're sitting. Normally, you do a cool and a warm. So if you have 49 and say 54, that would be area 1. Then as you move progressively this way, your whatever lights. So you don't want to be doing, you know, 49, 54. Okay, that lights up over there. That one and that one to light up over there. You would generally take 49 and 54 and patch both of them into channel 1. The thing that gets people, the hardest thing is to understand is dimmers, channels, 2 separate entities. You can have multiple dimmers in single channels, but you can't have single or multiple channels in multiple dimmers. Does that make sense? So in this case, if we go out of that, go DMX patch, channel patch. Okay, so right now we have patch by channel 1, dimmer 49. So what we'd want to do is go, let's see if I can remember how to do this on this console because it's different. The C, so these are soft keys, A, B, C, D, E, or C, D, E, D, to do the various functions that are on here. So if I want to go up, if I move up, I'm moving the channel number. And that's just showing me the dimmer that's associated with it. If I go back down, channel 1. If I want to move to the dimmer number, I have to hit the C, which moves me down here. Now I should be able to increase, say 54, enter. Oops. DMX patch, channel patch. Now I have 49 and 54 in channel 1. So if I was to bring up if we had 49 working, which doesn't seem to be. I now